Saturday here, we aim to put you in touch with the people who will help you get towards your dream career. It's KTN's Job Center. And you can get in touch with us if you're looking for work, want to change careers on KTN Job Center at standardmedia.co.ke, or just send us a tweet at KTN Job Center. Right, now, in our Job Seeker segment tonight, we're asking this very important question. How many heads would a man have to shave in a barbershop to raise 4 million shillings? That's what Jackson Gachoka requires to pay for his pilot training. Najma Ismail brings us that story on KTN's Job Center.
This week on Job Center, I bring you the story of Jackson Gachoka, a 36-year-old man who studied to become a pilot, but as fate would have it, he now runs this barbershop. Jackson never pictured himself grooming others for a living. Ever since he was a child, he always wanted to become a pilot. However, when his parents could no longer afford to pay his fees to complete his studies, Jackson found himself here.
I started flying in 1996. I went to college called Pegasus Flyers. I flew there for a while, and my sponsor, who was my parent, didn't have money for me to continue, so I dropped. I started working as a barber and saved money. After saving for some time, I went to school, a school called Kenya School of Flying. I met the owner. We discussed with him. I told him my problem. He gave me a chance. So I could work, save. When I have a bit of money, go to school, and he'll take me. And I did that, and I finished my PPL. And since then, I've been working towards getting my CPL.
The PPL license's minimum qualifications as required by law is to have at least 55 hours of flying in one's logbook. What Jackson doesn't have and has been struggling to get is a commercial pilot's license, that is the CPL. This is where Jack's predicament begins.
A CPL at the moment, you have to have a minimum of 250 hours, and an hour goes for roughly between 16,000 to 17,000, and then you have to do multi-IR, which is multi-engine rating. That is to fly engines with aircraft with more than one engine, and that costs around 42 to 45,000 an hour, and you have to do a minimum of 20 hours.
What Jack is looking at the moment is at least 4 million shillings to complete his CPL and almost 1 million shillings for the multi-engine rating in order to get employed as a pilot. He says his dream of becoming a certified pilot is becoming more elusive by the day.
It's elusive because of the financial bit of it. It's expensive to train as a pilot, and it's just the money part of it is the hard part. If I get the money, I can finish it within a reasonable time. Just that I don't have the money, so I have to work and save and pay for my school.
Jack tells us the story behind the barbershop.
I started the barbershop after I dropped out of college in 1998. I started my first barbershop in Dagoret Corner. I worked there for a while, and then I got a spot around the center. So I built a small barbershop, a Mabachi barbershop, and I worked from there. So that's the one which paid my PPL. I saved as much as possible to do this PPL, and it hasn't been easy. So I've been saving, going back to school, saving, investing here and there. At times the investment you invest in, they go bad, they are wrong choices. So your money goes, you start from square one again. So that has been the journey for all these years, since 2003, after getting my PPL.
On a good day, Jack says he makes at least 10,000 shillings. On a bad day, he takes home nothing, and he has to dip into his savings in order to give his employees something to take home.
Of late, business has been very low. I think there is a problem with money circulation. Business has been very low. Even getting money to pay rent has been not easy. And as having a family, things get expensive. I have to pay my employees first to keep them motivated so they don't leave. And the rest, I balance, juggle here and there to make ends meet.
I took Jack to the Nairobi Flight Training School to get expert advice on how he can start flying again. Here, we met Captain Eric Maribi.
What advice can you give someone who has the passion for flying but is unable to complete the course due to financial constraints?
Never kill the passion. You know, flying is a thrill, and once you start flying, you feel that thrill. So the first thing is never kill the passion. Always keep the dream alive. Flying in itself is expensive, and what many people do is they supplement ways of getting money for the flying by running jobs or businesses and all that.
What makes it so expensive?
The costs of running an aircraft and maintaining an aircraft are very high. The cost of aviation gasoline, which is a fuel that aircrafts use, is also high. And there are so many other costs included, like airport charges and all that. So inherently, it is expensive because of the safety measures that have to be put into place.
Are there any relevant bodies that are put in place to help people like me?
We do not have such bodies. In the Western world, they are very privileged. You have so many associations that give sponsorship to pilots. At the moment, in Kenya, we do not have that. Maybe I'd give my own story. I started flying immediately after high school in 2001. And I remember that time flying was not as expensive as it is now. Actually, the price has doubled. So I only did around 15, 16 hours and stopped. So I didn't have money. My parents didn't have money by then. So what I did is I did another profession. I did IT. So I worked in IT, teaching IT stuff for a couple of years, around 6 years, trying to get some money.
My name is Jackson Gachoka. I'm 36 years old. I have a PPL. I have 140 flying hours. I have 60 more to go to get my CPL and become a pilot. If anyone out there can help me realize my dream, I'd highly appreciate.
After a few minutes with the pilots who had the same story as Jack, I could tell that he was in high spirits and would indeed keep the dream of flying alive. Najma Ismail, KTN Job Center.